Sue Greenwald to address us. Welcome, Sue.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Joe. I've been working with the Yes on Measure P campaign, and the reason is that basically I feel the current rates that are the rates that we have not yet seen, but that we're gathering data for, the newly adopted rates but not yet implemented, are unfair, unfair rates. There's a growing sentiment, I think, that the new rate's unfair, not only difficult to understand and cumbersome with the previous year basis, but also unfair. The Measure P on campaign has always suggested a standard for fairness could be if you use twice as much, you pay twice as much, i.e. an equal amount per gallon. Now, the way the new rates stand, if you use twice as much, if you're a median single-family home, you'll pay almost 3 times as much, okay? And that's where the problem lies for many of us. This project is built for future use. You know, make no bones about it. The Brown and Caldwell study showed that we could limp by on our groundwater project for the foreseeable future. We could have waited until we paid off the new wastewater treatment plant and kept our rates steady. I many times suggested that. But we chose to build a project for the future. As Dan Walk said, this is for my children and grandchildren. So it's for the future. And also, staff has told us that making the project any smaller would not decrease our rates substantially, that we'd really reached the point of diminishing return in terms of making the treatment plant smaller. So there's really no reason to charge single families more for the water at all. I mean, you could as fairly make a per capita cost to pay for something in the future, or a per unit cost to pay for infrastructure for the last 2,000 years in the future. Now, so what we've kind of proposed is a compromise, which is a general principle that if you use twice as much, you pay twice as much. Since single families have to pay twice as much, that still means maybe it's twice as much, maybe depending on which units you're looking at, but maybe it's 3 times as much. But single families will be, if we make these reforms that Yes on Measure P is suggesting, single families will still be paying much more, higher percentage of the project for future use than other users. So, you know, single families are not getting off easy by any means if we make the types of reforms that we suggest. We're just saying that single families shouldn't have an extra burden on top of paying twice as much if they use twice as much, or 3 times as much if they have to use 3 times as much. And in terms of conservation, I'd just like to mention that we have plenty of conservation with the rates are going to be so high that we'll have more conservation than we would under a standard conservation-based rate. So what I would suggest, Council, I mean, one thing, in order to solve this and keep this becoming a festering problem forever, is I would suggest bypassing the new Utility Rate Advisory Commission and, you know, making the decision yourself, because you were elected, not a hand-picked small committee of people you appointed. It's already been to the committee, been there, done that, and many of the members some of the members already expressed themselves on this issue in advance, showing lack of an open mind. So
I would like to ask you to wrap it up.
Thank you. So make that suggestion, and then one last sentence is in terms of, I'd just like to verify what Ben Hart said. I talked to one of the leading horticulturists on campus, and she said that yes, we do need supplementary water for our street tree canopy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue, very much.